Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series through the Memphis Songwriters Association, all about songwriting, breaking down the craft, what makes certain songs work, all of that good stuff, right? So we've looked at Billboard hits, number one hits, and we've also looked at the idea that you don't have to write a hit to write a hit, and that's what we're going to continue talking about here is just because your song doesn't crack the top 20 in the Billboard charts, on the Billboard charts, does not mean that you didn't write a good song. And that's happened to these artists that I'm going to talk about. And they've written hits too, but sometimes it just doesn't break through, even though it's still a fabulous song. So, the first tip that I'm going to give you for this next song that I'm going to talk about in the You Don't Have to Write a Hit idea, you don't have to write a hit to write a hit idea, is to start with a common phrase and then flip it on its head. And honestly, nobody in my mind does this better than the script. We're actually going to look at a song, like I said, that was not a hit. It only peaked at 47, at least in the American Billboard charts. It went to 19 in their homeland of Ireland, but most people, critics and things like that, still consider it to be a flop compared to songs like The Man Who Can't Be Moved and Break Even. So we're going to chat about another single from their first album called The Script. That was their album. And this is a song called Talk You Down. So we're going to chat about what works here, melodically, lyrically, and structurally. So let's start off with the melody. If you hear the phrase talk you down, you're probably going to envision somebody threatening to jump off a building, and the people watching discouraging the potential jumper from doing so. This song begins with the slow, simple piano part, recognizing the intensity of the situation at hand. And normally, when I think of such tension and urgency, I think of putting the song in a minor key. But they didn't do that. It's written in C major. It goes from C to G to A minor to F on piano, at least. So it kind of flips it on its head in that particular sense as well. So, lyrically, as stated before, the slow piano part at the beginning recognizes that situation, right? It says, I can feel the color running as it's fading from my face. Try to speak, but nothing's coming. Nothing I can say to make you stay. So, right there, it flips that phrase on its head. We all know by the time the chorus ends, we know three things. Thing number one, this isn't some random stranger you're trying to get to continue living. It's someone you had a falling out with. But even then, it just keeps on twisting. So the second thing, making them stay, refers to the relationship. You don't want them to stay on the ledge. You want them to come down from the ledge. Not by jumping, but not jumping represents making the situation, the relationship, work. Jumping represents relationship suicide, which, just as a side note, the first time I was singing along to this song really freaked my mom out when she heard me singing that. But the third thing that we figure out by the end of the chorus is when he says, if you go, I go. And this isn't really talking somebody down, that's a suicide pact, saying, if you're out of here, so am I. And so that's one of the three things that we learn at the end of the chorus again that flips this metaphor of talking somebody down on its head, or not really a metaphor, but a visual. So structurally, let's chat about that. Structurally, it follows a very interesting path. I already mentioned the intro with just the piano and the vocals, and then the drums and guitar come in. After that, one of my favorite lines comes in. Grab a suitcase, hail a taxi. It's 3 a.m. Now where you gonna go? Gonna stay with friends in London, and that's all I get to know. This could easily fall under the lyrics branch because it's such a gut punching line, but the addition of the instruments, kind of the fast drums and all of that, makes the delivery of those lyrics all the more powerful, including the rhyme scheme that's used, which is A B A B, for what it's worth to you. So, Interestingly enough, this particular song only peaked, like I said, at 47 in the UK, 19 in Ireland, which meets our criteria for a hit, but it was still considered a flop. It might be because it's such a dark metaphor, dark visual, but a lot of what they did in the song lyrically is what they did with The Man Who Can't Be Moved or Break Even. They took common themes and they twisted those cliches in those common themes into something new. So, this particular video and song will be linked in the comments of the blog. Um, and the vlog for that matter. And it is going to be in there so you can take a listen. If you have already heard the song, that's great. Maybe you'll hear it in a different light. If you haven't, I hope I tip you off to something new and a really deep way that you can listen to the song. So that's Talk You Down by The Script. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in to all my other vlogs. You can get those by subscribing. That's probably the easiest way. Liking and subscribing to my channel, all of that good stuff, Minnesota Mike. And I also do videos every Saturday with my music, so you can check those out, my video series, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much. I'm Minnesota Mike. I appreciate you.